For all you guys who think that Noam Chomsky, the reasonable, logical, educated man is going to do something against cancel culture, you are going to be very disappointed. Because first he has to admit cancel culture is about. If you go to Google and look who has been canceled, most of them are men. It's basically women flexing their muscles. No different than #MeToo. Now, for him to be effective, Noam Chomsky, he's got to admit that's what's going on. We'll see what he has to say about it.
Just constant. What I understood the letter to be about is kind of a anodyne comment in favor of freedom of expression, aimed at telling small segments of the left that they're making a mistake, both in principle and tactically, if they adopt the principles of the mainstream. They're making a mistake.
See, he says segments of the left. He can't even say what the segments are. Why can't he just say what they are, right? He can't even voice it. And he's blaming the left like a right-winger.
Tell them directly. So if you don't like Charles Murray giving a talk, the wrong way to deal with it is to break up his meeting. It's wrong in principle, and it's a gift to the far right and to him. The right way to deal with it is to set up a counter meeting in which you talk about what he's saying, use it as an educational opportunity. Everyone gains from it. If you break up the meeting, you're giving the right wing an opportunity to say, we're the good guys. We have to protect ourselves against these thugs over there.
You see, this isn't a right-left issue. You see, when women flex their muscles against the guys in society, they succeed. And it doesn't matter to them about the left and right. They don't care about these right-wingers. They're just enjoying themselves. This isn't about left-right politics. And he should know better than that anyway. He probably does. I mean, let's see what Noam Chomsky has to say about the women's movement. And if he turns out to be a white knight, then he's going to be useless when it comes to cancel culture.
Effects are dramatic. But take, say, the women's movement, okay? It's half the world's population. If you take a look at American history, it's not that different elsewhere, but if you go back to the American Revolution, the colonies took over British law naturally. According to British law, women were not persons, they were property. A woman was legally, a woman is the property of her father.
There you go, he's a white knight. This man, he understands history in almost every way, but he's going to white knight for women of the past. He knows that things didn't change, not because something special happened. Well, something did special happen. Technology allowed us to live easy lives, and women dumped their men because they didn't want to be with them, right? Once they never wanted to be with them, and they were stuck with them in the past because that's how they got by. And he knows this. I mean, this is my video where we discussed how women didn't burn their bras until they got the contraceptive pill. And they didn't leave their husbands and they went to university until that happened and easy living came along. And Chomsky, he was a young guy when all this was happening. He was there. So like I said in this video, was he looking at women and holding them back? No. I bet if you asked him, he'd say no, he definitely wasn't. And here are all these other guys not holding anyone back. So what was the magical forces that were holding these women back? He knows they weren't.
father, and the property is handed over to the husband. One of the arguments against allowing women to vote was that it would be unfair to unmarried men, because a married man would have 2 votes, since obviously the property votes the way its owner does.
Is that so? How do they do it today? You know, if you see a husband and wife, do they always vote the same? No. So what made Noam Chomsky thinking women would vote the same as the husband? If she did, isn't because she's the property. It's because she didn't want to rock the boat, because that man looked after her. He was her bread and butter. So of course today women can just say, screw man, I'm not voting this way. Because a lot of these women have jobs now, because the jobs are easy and clean.
Over the years, it was chipping away at this, but it wasn't really until the 1960s that it almost totally collapsed. In fact,
Yes, the 1960s, the nuclear age, when it's a new era of technology that allowed women to dump their men and be independent. Men were never holding them down. So you guys listening to Noam Chomsky, White Knight, like this, what makes you think he's going to be, effective against cancel culture? He can't even say who is doing it.
1975, which is not that long ago, the Supreme Court recognized that women are what are legally called peers. They are legally permitted to serve in federal juries.
Yeah, they're peers because they finally got jobs and became single. Why would you consider them peers in the past if they're always leeching off you? They weren't peers.
That means they're persons. That's a big change. I mean, an audience like this wouldn't look like this 50 years ago. When I came to MIT, 1950s, it was white males, obedient, well-dressed, deferential, and so on.
Yeah, like this guy. This is what ticks me off to no end. Noam Chomsky got where he is through his own efforts, through his achievements. And all these other white guys he's talking about, they're in the same boat as him. Oh, God. So what is it? Here, Noam Chomsky, if that's the case, give all your money away and let your wife leave you because she won't have any money then. Give it all away, since, is Chomsky going to say that he was part of the problem? No. So what's he expect from all the other white guys who had to work their tails to get where they are? Oh my God, I just gotta control myself. All these guys, like Chomsky knows, guys have to gain, status to bribe these women around themselves. The women do not have to do that. If a woman wants a guy's attention, she just shows attention to him. Understand? All these guys are just like Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky wouldn't have a wife 20 years younger than him if he didn't gain status. She's an old woman now, but she's still 20 years younger than him, the newer one. So, I mean, who is he to say these things? Anyway, you think he's going to turn around and be any good at cancel culture? No. And it's not just Chomsky, all these intellectuals that are great in so many other ways, who hit the nail on the head every other time. They fail. He's not going to be able to say this. He'd have trouble at home with his wife if he did. He started saying this. This guy's a white knight. He's going to be useless. He is useless. Anyway, that's all I need to say about cancel culture and Chomsky. If you guys want to fight cancel culture, be honest about what it is and who is doing it and to whom it's being done to. Thank you.